Chris, we're going to kick off with you because in our prep for this and our conversations, you raise an interesting point that Dyson you have, James Dyson, of course, and he's kind of, in some way, your kind of Dieter Rams-esque source of inspiration, at least at the start of Dyson's journey. So we wondered if you would be so kind to kick us off and talk about the ethos as it is at Dyson.
Yeah, sure. Evening, everybody, first of all. Yeah, we've got a really strong ethos at Dyson. I'm not sure if we always call it ethos. I think we've got a number of different terms that we use for it. And it kind of starts with a mission statement, really, which underpins everything. And this mission statement is to solve problems that others sometimes choose to ignore, with surprising sort of inventions that defy convention. So they're not normal, they're not usual, and simply work better. And that comes 100% from James. That was James's brief, if you like, when he sort of invented the first bagless vacuum, and has been almost the brief for everything we've done since then. And having a leader like James makes it really easy for a business to have an ethos, because actually Dyson's ethos and Dyson's values are almost a reflection of James's. And I think from our point of view, when we sort of try and sort of apply that to communications, it has a massive effect, actually, because the way that we invent and develop new technology means that we have quite a lot to talk about. And I think as designers and communicators, that means our job is to simplify the messages that we've got and to try and explain the technology that's often quite new as simply and as clearly as possible. So the content is always the hero, and the design becomes less of the hero and more of the way that we facilitate those messages to the audience in the most effective way possible. And in turn, that has a massive impact on how we look and our identity. So I think that having such a strong ethos and having always had the same ethos has actually shaped our identity over the years. And I suppose we talked earlier about almost designing that ethos and orchestrating it. And I think for us, it's been very organic in terms of how we've arrived at it. It has come directly from James. And I suppose the challenge that we face now is not so much about developing the ethos or changing that ethos, but more about maintaining it, because for us, our identity is very important and we don't want to change our identity. So therefore, we don't want to change our ethos, because I think if we changed our ethos, then actually our identity as a business would change with it.
Amazing. So actually, not just kind of a powerful internal tool, but it's quite an overt, powerful tool that in things like your advertising, you have to kind of get out the way to some extent, so that the design ethos, the thinking behind the products really comes through, and you don't overcomplicate, and you allow all that thinking to shine through.
Yeah, it informs everything. We wouldn't be able to communicate and take the approach that we take, that very factual and very sort of minimal approach, if we didn't have something real to say, and we wouldn't have anything to say if we didn't innovate in the first place. So having that mission statement at our core allows us to be who we are. We wouldn't be who we were without it.